And hey everyone, Mark Newstater with eXp Realty, with Natalie Newstater, eXp Realty, Jaden Bax, BRX Mortgage, Calgary Real Estate Show, June 20th. Where is what's called our spring gone? First day of summer now. And I don't know, did we have a spring?
No,
No.
No,
no.
if you
It
consider
sprung and then it
spring,
went back in.
yeah, if you consider spring showers a spring, then yeah, we had our spring showers, right?
Yes,
Yeah, exactly.
exactly.
Exactly. Well, hey, first day of summer, so enjoy the longest day of the year. And I hate to tell you, but they get shorter from here. Like, not the actual day, but you know what I'm talking about. Anywho, let's get to the stats because you know what? It's just a very interesting market, as we say every week. But we're definitely seeing some trends here, and we're going to kind of roll through these and point out what we see as the trends, and then you know, kind of how we still help you through this market on the selling side and on the buying side. So more new listings this week. So it really jumped up last week from kind of the last week of May, last couple of weeks of May, and then another jump this week. Solds are down from last week. So we'll see, you know, is that a trend that continues? Sale to new listings still of 95%, which is really, really high. Like, oh, you know, some people are going to say, well, you know, that's way down. It's like, well, yeah, it's a little bit down, but keep in mind the sale to new listing ratio of 95% is still a seller's market. So 572 pendings, 21 days on market, and look at the actives and pendings. So now up to 3,687. So I did the calculation. That is almost a 15% increase from 5 weeks ago. So that's significant, right? Like that is a very significant increase. Look at the new listings from 5 weeks ago. Solds have kind of been on a bit of a roller coaster, but you know, new listings and active and pendings is a very, very interesting stat that we are keeping a close eye on. So once we get through this next screen, then we'll talk a little bit about, you know, kind of what this means to you in the market right now. But Natalie, fire away with a year back.
Okay, so a year ago we had total sales of 712. This year 685, so it's down 4%. New listings last year 894. This year we've got 986, so it's up 10%. Actives last year 3514. This year 3655, so it's up 4%. Pendings 928 last year, 766 this year, so it's down 17%. And days on market last year were 22, this year 21, so it's down 5% really today. But
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
And these are just week by week numbers, but you know, so I
yeah.
think if you're thinking about selling a friend, I'm not sure if I mentioned this a couple of weeks ago, but a friend in the industry had this email that came out that talked about the early spring buyer versus the late spring buyer. You know, in early spring, you always see crazy above asking offers, you know, multiple offers. And I'm not saying those are gone. Maybe those have reduced a little bit. There's maybe a little bit less urgency. But if you're a family right now, you can still get into that new home for, you know, mid-August, get in for the new school year, because that's always the, you know, the desire for a lot of families is they want to get settled in for the new school year. So you
Yeah.
might have a little bit more opportunity. I mean, with 15% increase in inventory, maybe there's a little bit more opportunity that comes up for you as a buyer, where maybe you do have a day to wait before writing an offer. although Natalie, tell the story last week where we went to look at a townhome in the
Mhm.
Beltline, and what happened?
Well, it literally had just gone on the night before and it was tenant occupied. So we went to look at it. And at the time that we booked the showing, there was only 3 showings booked that day. And by that evening, they had 2 offers. And I think I don't know if they had a third coming in, but yeah, it was sort of
Mm.
crazy. And yeah. So I'm watching it to see what happens
So
with that one.
yeah, so I think it's price point specific too. So that one was priced at 480 for a
Mhm.
townhome in the Beltline with a double attached garage. A bit of a unique, really beautiful little complex, older complex,
Yeah.
but you know, unique complex with a lot of trees across from a dog park, and so the location was fantastic, right? It was priced right. So those types of homes, I think, are still going to get multiple offers in many
Yeah.
cases. Whereas
Yeah.
maybe as you push up in price point, it's not as significant. So
Right.
Jaden, what's shifting? I saw when you loaded these rates that 5 year at 464. That's good.
Yeah, it's great, and I still think it's not the greatest thing out there, to be honest. But
Better than it
it's
has been.
yeah, it's phenomenal. It's what I think though is that that one is a bit of a red herring to me because it's very attractive, something you want to go after. 464, that's great. We haven't been down there in a long time. Fantastic. It's still a 5-year fixed, right? And so you're still tied into that over the next 5 years. And so if you're like me and you believe that with the way that our economy is structured and things like that the rates will likely settle somewhere in that 2.5% to 3.5% range, which over the last 20 years kind of has been the average. You're probably too long on that 464 at 5-year, but yeah, very, very attractive. One of the nice things is with that 3-year, for instance, especially if you have a quick close, right? So you talk about getting in there before school, right? So, we have July and August now. If you're closing sometime in the next 30 to 45 days, there's some lenders that Scotiabank is a great partner of mine at 4.99 on a 3-year fix. But if you're the right client for them and with a quicker close, and you're getting some of their product, you could likely take that down to a 4.74, somewhere in that range, maybe a 4.69, somewhere around 0.25 to 0.3% off of what they're showing right now. So the really interesting thing with that is that all of a sudden when you get to that 4.74 on a 3-year versus the 4.64 on a 5-year, that 3-year looks really attractive, right? So I think the thing that's happening really is that there's a lot of options right now. Even that 5.9 on the 5-year variable, we're looking at a prime minus 1.1 or 1.05. Sorry, the best lately over the last over the last year or so has been about prime minus 0.9. So we're starting to see that gap out a little bit as well. And really, if you believe rates are coming down, what you're looking for is, of course, like, what does the prepayment penalty look like and all those kinds of things, and the lender and that stuff. But what is the discount from prime? Because the bigger the discount, the bigger benefit you're going to get as things come down as well.
Right.
Very fascinating.
Makes sense.
Yeah, so good things happening, and continue to be in touch with somebody like Jaden who can really guide you through the process. What's best for you? What's your risk tolerance, right? Like, are you risk adverse? So maybe variable's not the right thing, but there's some good news, hopefully. And when is the next scheduled Bank of Canada rate announcement?
July, it was, I can't, because I think our last one was June 5th, so it'll be sometime near the end of July. I don't have the date right in my head. And it'll be interesting to see what they do there. I'm not sure that they go down one more time. There's a lot of stats going on behind the scenes that would suggest that they should probably start making that kind of move, and continue to do it through the fall as well.
Yeah, that adjusted GDP per capita number is certainly something I think came out yesterday. So the government is making it look maybe rosier than it is when you take a look at that adjusted number.
Yeah, it's not very rosy, and then just first off, they're always adjusting down, but also let's do it per capita. Let's get back to per capita and be talking about real numbers, because you can't put lipstick on a pig by knocking immigration way up to get those numbers looking good, right? So
yeah, exactly. Alrighty, so Natalie, we're going to do community events first, and then we'll go to you. Sorry, I thought it was you next. I don't know. It's not like I haven't done this.
Well, that's how we've done it for a long time, but good.
Exactly. So a couple things to point out. So I was at the new BMO Center the other night, and it is absolutely stunning. It is something Calgary is going to be so proud of when you walk through there during Stampede or another event. And one of the events that's going on right now, so you can go check out the new BMO, is Disney Immersive. So you get to experience 40 Disney animation movies, including iconic song scenes during an immersive Disney animation. So super cool. Go check it out. I'm sure there's videos online. And tickets, I believe, are $34. And you have to book them online and pick a time, because they only allow a certain amount of people through, which is nice. So you actually get the immersive, not so many people. And then I just wanted to point out an Indigenous History Month celebration going on at South Center Mall. So if you want to check that out when you're at the mall or make a special trip, I think that'd be super cool as we think about Stampede and all the great ways that we celebrate Indigenous culture there. Rock the Nation, Studio Bell, and there's still the Polar Bear breakfast happening at the Calgary Zoo. And Natalie, let's talk two-tone kitchens. Two-tone
kitchens. So really the thought process behind it, I can't speak today. The thought process behind this is that, especially if you have an open concept sort of space, it's used to sort of delineate where the spaces are. So where your dining is, where your kitchen is, that kind of thing. So, all right, let's go to the next one. So you want to determine your focal point. So this picture is sort of unique because they did the focal point as the actual cabinet, but then you have this beautiful black dishwasher right beside it with a little leather handle. It's quite pretty. It's very farmhouse-esque.
Looks like a brass countertop or a copper countertop. Sorry.
Yeah, it's probably copper. Yeah, it would be copper.
Pretty cool.
Work with whimsy. So they're saying, using something like for that apron sink, for example, they've got the texturing on there. Oh, sorry, my light just flung around on me with a dog. And then they chose this beautiful pastel sort of aqua blue for the cabinet colors. Work with complementary colors. That's another one. So the one on the right has again, that aqua blue, but they're using a navy base on the island. And then the two-tone pink. I don't know that you would let us do that in our house, Mark. You might divorce me.
Would you actually want that, though? Would you really?
No, I would not. The one on the right, I would, for sure. The pink one is so specific. Nice. It would be a very difficult one. You'd have to change out everything to actually bring the colors up because it's even
including your husband. Change out the husband as well.
Yes.
Right? Yeah, literally
exactly.
Yeah.
It's a Barbie house.
Well, it's such a as we talk about it, it's such a permanent change, right? Like that, unless you're going to spray out the cabinet someday, somebody's going to. So anyway,
for sure. And the backsplash.
Awesome.
So yeah,
and the backsplash too. Yeah, it's very pink. Very pink. Well, that is it for this week. So as a reminder, so again, when we talk about what does this all mean, in terms of the market maybe shifting a little bit, clearly listings are up. So if you're looking to sell, you still have an opportunity here, I believe, because Natalie's example with our clients last week, I know I just was looking through some stats here in Woodbine this morning, and there was a home that sold in 9 days, must have been multiple offers because it went for above asking. And it was original 1,600 square foot, double attached front garage. We're a very desirable community right now. And, so there's a lot going on. So you just have to find somebody like us that's going to guide you through the process, not try and sell you a home, but just guide you through, obviously make you aware of what's going on in the market so you can make an informed decision, right? That's the biggest thing I think that we do maybe differently than some, and that's no slam on other realtors. But, you just want somebody that's going to guide you alongside and make sure you're making the decision that's best for you. So, Jaden, that's great. Thanks for all that great info, and we will stay tuned and check out Jaden on Instagram and on Facebook. He's on social media now. Like, it's crazy.
Yay. And a lot.
Yeah, a lot. It's from being a Luddite to getting on social media, I've made a big switch here. So, thanks. If anybody wants to check it out, I'm always trying to give, great information for my realtor partners, but also clients out there that are looking to make a move. Just trying to find a way to get that out there in a more widespread way.
Yeah.
Awesome. That's great. Thanks, everybody, for watching. We will see you next week when we lead into Canada Day weekend and then Stampede. Like, where is the summer going? But we will enjoy it. Enjoy the warmer weather coming up this week, and we will talk to you all in 7 days.
Bye, guys.
Bye.